Hi folks, welcome to Legacy IS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing a current affair topic presented to you by your faculty, Sushma Devi. So what is the topic that we will be looking into today? UN conference backs two-state solution. Why exactly is your UN conference backing two-state solution now? It is a very age-old concept, yes. Now why again are they claiming for that? In this video, we will be discussing what is the background of this issue, what is Israel-Palestine conflict, what is a two-state solution. We will also be discussing 2025 UN conference. We will be discussing about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. We will be discussing about your global power play, and we will be seeing what is India's standpoint and what are the global implications of your two-state solution. At the end, we will follow it up with a possible mains question from this topic. Alright, so I mentioned the topic, I mentioned the list or subtopics as to on what topics we will be discussing. Now comes the important question. Why are we discussing this, or how relevant is it to your UPSC preparations? Look at this from your GS2 perspective, it is very important from international relations and also with respect to your United Nations or your multilateral organizations role. At the same point of time, we can also be looking into India's foreign policy. From GS paper 1 perspective, we can see what is it with respect to your post-World War changes and also how post-independent India has changed its foreign policy. Say the topics could come in your, let's say, key factors or themes of peace, diplomacy, and global justice. Now, why is this in news? New York Declaration and two-state solution. Like as usual, I will tell it to you like a story, you will listen to it like a story. As of now, your European major powers such as your France and your UK have taken a big initiative. Now this initiative can be of two fronts, either for attaining a solution in Palestine or your Gaza. Second thing is coax or pressure Israel to end the starvation scenario in your Gaza. Understanding? Either way, there are two things in hand. Go for a longer term sustaining solution or temporarily put an end to the hunger and famine that is developing in your Gaza. For that, your New York Declaration comes into place. New York Declaration of 2025, where they are speaking and endorsing back of two-state solution. Now, if this two-state solutions, what will be the implications for your international peace? What will be the future of West Asia? And what would India's foreign policy be for this particular issue? All of this we will be seeing in the video. Now, let's take a look at how your Israel-Palestine conflict started. First with the disintegration of your Ottoman Empire, and then comes your Balfour Declaration, which comes from your Britain, wherein they said that the context on what this Balfour Declaration was created was create a Jewish homeland in Palestine. With this, what started? 1948, your Israel was created. This led to eventually Palestinian displacement. Eventually, a lot of wars were being fought in your 1948, 1967, 1973, your Six-Day War, and then with respect to your present war, of your Hamas attack. There are contested territories. Your 1967 war led to annexation of certain territories by your Israel, where the occupation or area under the influence started changing. So because of this, there are something called as contested areas, those being your West Bank, East Jerusalem and Gaza. Understanding? This was the scenario. Post your 1967 war, not just your area of contention started increasing between your Israel and Palestine, but also this led to the rise of non-state actors. Otherwise, initially your PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization, was considered by your Israel as a terrorist organization. Then in your Oslo Accords, it started recognizing PLO. Then eventually it led to the rise of Hamas as a non-state actor. Understanding? So this is the background of your Israel-Palestine war. Now to proceed further, we have a small announcement from Legacy IAS Academy. If you are someone who wants to kickstart your UPSC civil service preparation, then look no further. You have found the right one-stop solution and your one-stop destination with Legacy IAS Academy. Why do I tell that? Because first and foremost, Legacy IAS Academy offers a strict 40-member batch so as to provide you personalized training, and also we have one-on-one mentorship. You should feel free to talk to the educators, see wherever you're stuck, what stage of preparation you are and how to move forward with this. Alongside this, we have prelims mock test, daily mains answer writing challenge, as well as your mock interview panels. Alongside this, if you wish to continue in online mode of UPSC preparation, we do offer our services in both online as well as offline mode. For those of you who are working individuals, we offer weekend courses just curated so as to you can continue your work, college, and then simultaneously prepare for your UPSC civil service examinations too. Now, if at all you want to see how the classes are, you can go check out Legacy IAS Academy website or call the number given below and schedule a demo class either online or offline and look for it yourself. Alright, with this, we'll continue with our video. What is this two-state solution that we are discussing? See, first and foremost, this two-state solution is backed by most sovereign countries. And this is what is considered as a long-term sustaining peace for the issue in hand. How? What is two-state solution? See, first and foremost, this was proposed by the United Nations in 1947. Again, the same was reiterated in your Oslo Accord 1 and Oslo Accord 2 between your Israel and PLO, wherein the tenets of your two-state solution is very simple. Two nations will coexist peacefully. That is the first and foremost underlying point. Two nations will exist peacefully, mutually. They will recognize each other's defined definitive borders. Understanding? And third most important thing is a demilitarized Palestinian state. This is a two-state solution, which means existence of two mutually recognized peaceful states who will have sovereignty into their territories. Alright, this is the two-state solution. Now, what is your 2025 conference or your New York Declaration? Very few days ago, we have did that video on Legacy IAS Academy also, wherein we spoke about that France is going to recognize Palestine as a state in September. And now this is also coming up again in September. What exactly is happening in September? That is because your UNGA summit is going to happen in September mid. So in your UNGA, countries such as France, Britain aim to bring about your Palestinian issue, wherein France has claimed that it will officially recognize Palestine as a state. Now, see, many other sovereigns have already recognized it, but this is one of the biggest Western power who will be recognizing Palestine. Palestine welcomed this. Here, Israel has termed it, this is like rewarding Hamas, or this is like rewarding a terror organization. US, Israel's closest ally, has also told that this is not correct. And for your New York Declaration, again, your Britain also has held that if Israel does not come to a solution, now when your Britain means solution to Israel, your Israel must end the starvation or blockade in Gaza. Otherwise, even your UK will follow the path of your France and recognize Palestine. If your Israel stops the blockade, then your UK will not go for this, is what your UK has claimed. So like in the starting of the video I said, this is between two things. Either a long-term sustainable solution you achieve, or you put a temporary end to this hunger and famine that is happening. Either way, it is a win-win is what your European powers are considering. Understanding? Now, this 2025 UN conference happened in the UN headquarters of your New York. That's the name New York Declaration. It was co-chaired by both your France and Saudi Arabia. It was also supported by your EU countries, Arab League and 15 other nations. What is the phased peace plan that they have given in your New York Declaration? First and foremost, they have condemned both Hamas attack on Israeli civilians as well as Israeli retaliation, blockades, creation of hunger, starvation and famine in Gaza. Both are blamed here. There is no one side taking here. Both are to blame. So this is the first stage. The second stage is they are telling that is France is telling it will recognize Palestine as a state, or UK is telling that if Israel doesn't end the blockade, then even it will go recognize Palestine as a state. Second, without making direct mention to Israel, but obviously mentioning and clearly mentioning as to referring to Israel, they have told to end the illegal settlements and to end the unilateral actions taken, again here referring to your Israel, even though they have not specifically name called Israel. The third thing is to create a UN-led stabilization, that is post, let's say they come to a conclusion. Post this, they have to start a ceasefire or a stabilization mission. And the fifth is to create a transitional Palestinian Authority administration in Gaza and recognize it. Understanding? So it is like a mutual transfer. Now, with the pressure mounting from your international allies, if your France and UK go on to recognize Palestine, then this would be a major rift and divide in your G7 itself. What would possibly happen? And why are your major European powers taking this decision? From your Palestinian side, it has been claimed that more than 60,000 people have been killed. The alleged reason is because your authorities in Gaza are claiming that Israel is not differentiating between combatants and civilians. Because of an infrastructure collapse, there has become a severe infrastructure failure, blockades. All this is causing severe starvation, hunger, and famine, which is denied by your Israel, claiming that there is no such thing of starvation or hunger. Now, this, let's assume this deal goes through. That is your UN 2025 New York Declaration goes through. How will it be in the international ambit? First and foremost, just with this development, let's take your 2025 New York Declaration itself. Let's see what are the new development changes has it happened. Because see, first thing when I am telling you about your UN 2025 New York Declaration, initially it was with respect to the head of the states, the global leaders, which was now dialed down to your ministerial meet. Then it was brought down to your working committees, 8 working committees. Did something significant happen here? Yes. Some of the very firsts have also happened. What is this? France and UK, when it is trying to support Palestine, it is recognizing PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization. This might isolate Hamas, which in turn might end the non-state actors if there are other avenues for them to voice out. That is the first implication. Second, US and Israel have unilaterally denied and rejected this UN meeting. They have called it is off timing. The timing is not correct. And Israel completely rejects this, telling that it affects the security of Israel and affects the nationalism of Israel at the same point of time. If this is done, it is like rewarding the Hamas. Now, if you see, there are shifting alliances here also. This is again what we are talking about is for the firsts that have happened in your New York Declaration. What are those? For the first time in a public medium, Arab nations have condemned Hamas attack. Very first time. There is a Western Arab shift. That is, your Saudi is pushing for a multilateral peace, bringing in more the parties. And main thing is there is a division or a rift that we see in the G7 itself, where your UK and France are of differing opinion from your USA in the recognition of Palestine. What is India's stance in this? See, historically, India has supported Palestine. From 1993 onwards, India also supports that Israel has the ability to secure itself, understanding because of the, let's say, India-Israel ties with respect to technology, agriculture, etc. What India considers as a long-term sustainable solution is the two-state solution. Understanding? So India supports your two-state solution. What will be the possible implications if, let's say, your New York Declaration comes through and whatever they said will happen in UNGA happens? Then, first and foremost, with the recognition of Palestine, Middle Eastern alliances will shift. Non state actors will have a reduced legitimacy. Your international organizations, such as your UN, will have a renewed hope, vigor, and also this puts a pressure on Israel with respect to a possible mains question from this topic. Look at this. Critically examine the feasibility of two-state solution in the context of recent UN-backed New York Declaration. Otherwise, the summation for this is the video that we discussed. Alright. With this, we come to the end of the content. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share it along with your friends. Thank you.